Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be a bit of a groom, tack up and ride with me because I feel like I haven't done one of those videos in absolutely ages. So just went over to Duke and Mickey and said hello, and also said hello to Joey too and gave him a little bit of a boop on his nose. And then the horse that I'm going to be getting ready today and kind of showing you my routine with is Casper. So he's right down the bottom, put on a head collar. This is actually a brand new one and I've got to say, do you think the mist on him looks beautiful. Anyway, luckily the electric fence was turned off before I unhooked it, because there has been a few times I've forgotten to do that and got myself zapped where I've screamed in the air and jumped in the air. I'm a very sort of jumpy person. Then I just clip Casper into the wash bay and then give him a few little cuddles. Casper's definitely one of those horses where he's not as cuddly. I'd say he's kind of got more like black cat energy than golden retriever, so he's just like, he likes to have attention, but he kind of has to be the one to initiate the attention. You can't just go up to him and give him a cuddle. You have to go at his own pace, especially if you're someone new. Like, he's very nervous and cautious of new people and strangers. You have to, it takes him a while for you to be part of the Casper club. The first brush I used there was a plastic curry comb, and I just kind of do that in circular motions to try and bring up all the dirt. And then for some reason I went onto his mane and tail next. I did this in a really weird order on this day. Put some mane and tail detangler in his tail because it is so thick. I feel like I say this every time I do one of these videos, but Casper just has a really naturally thick mane and tail. If your horse has a thinner mane and tail, probably wouldn't recommend, you know, brushing it every single day because it does pull some of the hairs out sometimes. And then I grabbed a dandy brush and oh my goodness, Casper was so dusty. He's been really enjoying rolling out in the fields now they're completely dry and basically having a bit of a dust bath like a chicken. Gave his face a little bit of a brush too, nice and gently. He used to be so head shy, but now as you can see with like a massive brush, I just very gently brushed him and he was completely fine with it. Then I grabbed a bucket of water because I was like, you know what, this is going to be satisfying. I'll give him a clean. Normally if I'm just taking him for sort of a hack around the lanes, I'm like, no, we'll just go with the sort of poo stain look. So I got a bucket of water, a tiny weeny bit of purple shampoo, put that on my sponge, gave him a little bit of a sponge off. The aim for this was to really try not to get him too wet. This isn't a full bath, this is kind of like a sponge bath. And then I just went over with a wet sponge to get rid of any of the bubbles and rinse that off. Then I turned on the Drimee to have the fans working to try and get Casper to dry off a little bit quicker. I really do need to clip him, so I also used a towel to kind of dry him off. Then it was time to head into the tack room and grab my tack. So the saddle pad that I decided to go for today was in the colour Kiwi, just because it is such a bright colour. I always feel like it kind of goes quite well with my high vis. It's kind of like a neon, well, it's not neon, it's like a little bit more pastel-y than neon. Anyway, then I grab my girth and Casper's saddle as well, just take the cover off. Then I popped my tack in the wash bay on the side, and because Casper was still a little bit damp, the next sort of weird order of doing things, I did everything kind of in like a really random kind of placement, but next I washed off Casper's hooves because they were a bit mucky, and I have this little hoof picking out bowl here. I remember the first time I started using this bowl, basically I use it because it stops all the mud and everything getting in there, but the first time I used it, Casper was so confused. He kept trying to put his head down in it thinking that there was food in there, and every time for a while I had to show him, no mate, there's no food in there. Just gave him another little brush through, where when I wash a horse I always find their coat goes a little bit stiff where the water's kind of dried in that place, so I gave him a little brush off just to fluffen him up again, put on his saddle, did up his girth, of course, had to give him some head scratches, and then it was time to head to grab my boots. Whenever I go hacking, I always choose the dirtiest pair of boots to put on because I kind of often need to wash them afterwards, especially if I have to get off Casper to get a gate or open a gate or anything like that. So just grab his bridle, grab my high vis as well, because on our hacking route there is like some bits where we are kind of on the road, not too much of it, most of it is across the fields. There he is looking at me, he's like, oh yeah, I see the high vis, we're going for a hack. He gets a lot more excited when he knows knows that he's not just going around in the school doing boring things. Hacking is definitely Casper's favourite thing. Once his bridle's on, I just make sure it's nice and comfy for him and his mane's not sort of scrunched up under it, and then we go through the gate and then I just do up his girth another time, and then I always make sure, even if I've just done it up, I always check my girth before I get on. So I pull down my stirrups, make sure my reins are all gathered up so Casper's not going to go zooming off. And then of course when we leave I have to go and say goodbye to Joey. I give him a little wave, let him know that we're on our way, and then as you can see there's only a tiny bit on the road before we head on to the off-road track. So in the UK we have something called a bridle path, and basically it's like a footpath but it's for horses, and you can go across farmers' fields. All of the gates are kind of horse easy to open, as you can see. I could do that while sitting on Casper. And then after a bit of a trot around we had a canter, and I always find Casper's a lot slower on this sort of route that we do. When we do it the other way round, so we kind of do the road first and then the fields, Casper always, like, I am having to hold him back. He gets very excited. So of course I have to be cautious of all the livestock in the farmers' fields, so when there's sheep nearby I just walk, or if we're a little bit further away I'll just do a little gentle trot. A lot of the sheep, they see me come around here every single day, they're used to it. As you can see, this sheep just does not care, like walks away very slowly. This gate, although it does have like a longer handle that's for horse riders to open, I always find it's just a lot easier for me to get off because it is quite a heavy gate. Oh, the geese are there again. They're going to fly away and spook you, aren't they? Alright, sheep, let them cross. Good walk to canter transition. Alright, you're going to go slow because the geese are there and you'll poo yourself. You going to fly away, geese? There we go. Oh, there's more there. They're not happy with you, Casper. Oh, we can't have a big canter here, all the sheep are in the way. It's alright, we'll just trot on by. Don't mind me, sheep, we're just coming round. You can stay there, little lammies. We're just nosing on by. Okay, you can have a little see. Woohoo! Whoa, 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 whoa. You're okay. I gotcha. You're okay. What are you speaking about? I know there's a very horrible noise up there that you don't like. Alright, there you go. Any cars? Wait a sec. You still got that bit of hedge in your mouth. Oh my goodness, Casper, I didn't even realise you ate that. Oh, he knows he's on his way home. He's got to his halfway point. He is always twice as fast on the way home. Okay, you have a walk. Gonna stretch out long rein. They're not gonna eat you. You're okay. And there's sheep there as well. You don't need to spook at them. I know. Whoa! Caspy! What was that? Oh no, he's gone into dragon mode. You're okay? Oh my goodness. You're not supposed to canter on the road. Calm down. You're okay. I know. You can snort as much as you like. You're okay. And that is why I would never sell you to a child. Yeah. You're a little quirky, aren't you? I know. It's your natural instinct when something is scary to run away. I feel you, buddy. It's not easy being a prey animal, is it? Good boy. You're alright. You calming down now? Look. I could literally ride him on the buckle now. Just had a little scary. Yeah. A little scary, but you're alright. Trying to jog it off up the hill. Get rid of some of that energy and that adrenaline. There we go. Good man. I know, those lambs, they were looking dodgy, weren't they? I think they looked pretty scary as well, if you tell me. Almost home. Yeah, we're back. Why are you making
so much noise, Joey. Are you happy to see us?
Once we got back and I'd put Casper in the wash bay, I swapped his bridle for his head collar and just did up my stirrups. And I always like to leave his saddle on because I have to unlock the padlock, so normally I just bring his bridle and put that away first. Of course, on the way I had to get some treats, and at this stage I realised I'd only done one side of his head collar kind of up on the wash bay, or his clips, and then I undid both sides of my girth, took my saddle off, put that away, put all my other stuff away, so like my high vis, my gloves, everything else. And then of course, before I put Casper back out in the field, I had to take some photos for my story, and I also gave him some more treats after that too. Then it was time to unclip him and lead him down to his field again. He said hello to some of the other horses on the way, and then before I left I gave him some more treats, waved goodbye, and then on the way back I said hello to Mickey, whose nose was absolutely filthy, don't know what he'd been doing. Joey had a bit of a cuddle as well, he loves the attention. When Duke, on the other hand, he was just eating, he wasn't bothered. So I just made sure that everything was all locked up, and that is my routine complete. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!